Last week on Married to the Games.
Hey, you get that Pauline, man? That junk is hard, boy. I spent like $1.75 on that last night.
Really
so
hope
weird.
that this guy made a floppy disk version for all the people that are online.
Floppy disk.
Because they are not going to be able to get this mod.
Oh, come on. They're always an alcoholic. They have to be.
They're always an alcoholic. This is sad, and I thought that Hall would find it hilarious.
Oh, great. Thanks for making me look bad.
Good setup there.
She's got a grenade launcher. Where'd she get that?
Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's that kids and wives and 9 to 5, but we are married to the games. 0 to 8. This is when we start lying about our age and start going backwards. It's your boy Gabe Patillo, of course, joined by Timothy Hall and Tim Router. We are talking about life and games, gaming and life. We are happy to be here. Thank you for listening. We're going to kick it over to my boy Tim Router. How you doing that there, brethren?
How you doing, man?
Doing good?
Good. Yeah, man. Hello, everybody. Hope everyone had a good week. Happy upcoming Easter. I can't believe it's Easter already. This is crazy. In Nashville, it just snowed. So of course, everybody went out and got bread and milk after a dusting of snow. I swear, man, the South freaks out when it comes to snow. It's so awesome. I
and
love
all
it.
the kids were mad because they would have canceled school, but they're on spring break.
Yeah. So they're all.
I was going to
they're all
ask
on
if they
spring break.
canceled school.
Exactly. Yeah, my nephew and nieces, they're all on spring break. I'm like, man, it's snowing on spring break. This is ridiculous. But yeah. So let's see what happened this past week. Finished taxes. I know everybody was concerned about that, so that was good.
Oh, good.
So went to my accountant, and so we'll just figure out. He's just crunching a few more numbers, and we're good to go there. That always stresses me out, though. I'm just so glad it's done. It was like such a relief to just get everything taken care of, and my life.
It's a stressful thing.
It is, but at the end, like your life, you feel more organized after you do it all. So now it's just now you just need to stay on top of everything, which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But yeah, so I did that. Let's see what else. I had a couple other grown-up things this week. It's been like grown-up month for Tim Router in March. It's weird.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I had to get a new water heater. So
yes.
Thankfully, it didn't burst or anything. But I have a maintenance plan, and they kind of come and check every year what's going on. And my 50-gallon water heater is about 10 years old, so it was pretty much on the brink of something was going to happen to it. And my water heater sits on the second floor. It's in like a little cubby above everything. So if that were to go, 50 gallons of water would come right through the kitchen, and that would not be fun.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
So I was actually very proactive and said, screw it, let's get a new water heater. So that was in. It took them like 30 minutes. These guys are like water heater ninjas. They do it so many times. They're like, done. So did that, and just still working really hard, bunch of stuff, trying to get caught up, and finally got to get some good Tomb Raider time in. So I was very excited about that. Really loving that game. It is essentially if Nathan Drake was a woman. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah,
and it's
from England.
Exactly, and it's fantastic. It just I said it last week. It just flows. It's good control. Everything is just really great about it. So I think I'm getting toward the end. I know both of you, I think, have finished it, but I'm getting toward the end. But what I'm doing now is going back to a lot of those different camps and collecting all the relics and doing all that stuff.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I love doing that stuff. The only thing I haven't done, like if it's up on the map, I'm going to try and get it. But like the challenges, if I run across it, great. If I don't, I'm not going to worry about it. But if I can get most of everything else, I will. So yeah, it's been fun, and it's a really good game. So I'm really looking forward to it, to that. And then you know what? I'm trying to think. Like I know we talked about it last week. I don't know what I want to play next. I think I am going to go to Borderlands 2, but
that's actually a good one to go to because I think they just upped the level cap with the. I don't know if you have to get the DLC or not. Somebody will write in and let us know.
Yeah, I wonder if you do have to get the DLC for it. I don't think it would be an update.
By the time you finish the game, though, you'll probably still. I mean, like I think, but it's funny. Like I think I'm like right on the doorstep of finishing that game, but like other stuff keeps coming up.
Yeah,
and I think I'm at like level 35, maybe. So
sweet.
I don't know if you'll ever get that high. So.
Yeah, I ended Borderlands at 38, I think, or 37.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I ended it. So the first one.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I might do that. There's a couple, some of the free downloads that we've been getting as PS Plus members has been pretty interesting too. So I don't know. I think Borderlands 2 will be my next one, but I'm gonna try and finish Tomb Raider either this week, and then see about what I should play next.
Have you started your shots yet?
No.
For your allergies?
No, it's one of those processes. I've got to make an appointment with my allergist, and then because we're getting into prime season now, so I'm just kind of miserable a lot. But it's weird. Like during the day, I feel a little bit better. It's usually mornings and nights, which is weird. That's why. And I apologize. I say I'm sorry every week. I know I sniffle and that kind of stuff, but it's my misery to bear. So if you guys can bear with a couple sniffles and me sounding like I'm underwater somewhere, then by all means do so. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to him about it. And it's just one of those unfortunate things. I wish insurance companies would pick it up more. Most insurance companies don't.
Right.
Just because it's not like life-threatening or anything like that. And it's like, this is the only thing that's wrong with me. Why wouldn't you, help me?
Help a brother out.
Exactly. I was just going to say, help a brother out here. But, it's just one of those things. So it's a big-time commitment because I think like the first 2 weeks, you have to go every day. And then after that, it backs off to once a week, and then it's just a very slow, drawn-out process. So, and it's not cheap. So I'm sure that you don't have to pay all up front or anything anyway. I hope not, but yeah. So I just need to get on it. So probably after Easter, I got family coming in this weekend, so we will celebrate Easter, and then after that, I will probably jump on all that and start getting stuck.
I'm just glad that I don't really have allergies. So.
Yeah, me neither.
You probably will. I'm telling you, everybody that I know who's lived here more than 5 to 6 years ends up getting allergies in this place.
I don't have them, praise Jesus.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, I've never had an issue with that.
I know, and neither did I before I came here. And then 6 years in, my nose just started going off. I'm like, what is going on? And then my allergist is like, hey, congratulations, you're allergic to everything here now. So I'm like, awesome. I mean, when I did the test, like they do, I don't know if you guys have ever done these allergies tests, but they take your arm and they just prick you with different little things like dog hair, cat hair. But like mine looked like a bubble wrap. It looked amazing. to the point where my allergist was walking by and he's like, whoa, okay, let's not give him that.
Oh my
That's
God.
how bad it is.
That's next level.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've never had this before. I feel so old and decrepit.
Broken.
I'm broken, man.
I feel so young and alive.
Yes, you should. But yeah, it's weird. So I'm going to. I think April I'll start working on that.
There you go.
But yeah, it's all good. So that's pretty much been my week with the routers.
Timothy Hall. Do it.
Oh man, I'm so tired.
Let me guess, work.
No, I mean not really. I mean,
really?
I
let me guess, Tomb Raider.
No, just like I've been working out a lot more lately, like in lifting weights and stuff. So every night I go to
us.
every night I go to bed. For some reason, like I'm having a little bit of trouble going to sleep. I guess because I work out before I go to sleep.
Oh,
that's
man.
the thing, though, is that after I'm done working out, like I'm really tired.
Yeah.
But then I lay down and I can't go to bed for some reason, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night I don't know how many hours of sleep I got, but it couldn't have been more than 4.
Wasn't enough, huh?
Nah, just not enough. Let's see. Well, I played some more Tomb Raider. I know I'm close to the end, so kind of like Tim, I went back and started doing a bunch of different things, and I got the there's an unlock that you can get where it shows you all the secret stuff on the map,
Yep.
like all the secret tombs.
Got it.
So I'm gonna just go back and probably do all those. But yeah, I think the game is so much fun. So it's like I'm not worried about basically ruining the experience or anything like that. I just want to go get everything before the end of the game.
Yeah, I'm with you totally.
I mean it's a fun game. So
it really is, and I think you kind of know when you're going to start getting toward the end, and you're like, okay. So once that happened, I'm like, well, that there's all these things that I know I missed because early on you're excited, you kind of get through everything and you miss a bunch of stuff. And I went back and I was like, dude, I missed a ton of stuff. So it's fun being able to get it all. Oh
yeah, definitely. I mean, in that game, like more than any other, like I'm not sick of the gameplay. The gameplay feels very solid. Bow, like using the bow is better than any other game that I've played.
Yeah, I was going to ask what are you guys' favorite weapons?
The bow.
Yeah.
Probably the bow just cuz I got the napalm arrows.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
I use the bow for
awesome.
stealth. I use the bow for stealth and then I use the machine gun.
I literally use the bow. For some reason, I have this weird thing I realized while I was playing it last weekend. Even when they're throwing when they're throwing the little...
They're throwing guns at you.
When they're throwing guns at you. Here, take this.
When they're throwing the stuff at you and shooting at you with the guns, for some reason, I still like using the bow.
Yeah, see, that's where I stop. That's where I stop.
I do too. I stop and I switch over.
Not me. It's so gratifying.
There's
You're
nothing
like,
more
oh my gosh, you have machine guns, and I'm taking you out with my little bow and arrow.
Yeah, in this game, like more than any other, I have no problem headshotting everybody.
That's all I do. That is all I do.
If the game makes it easier, but it's
awesome.
It's a lot of fun, and the guys move a lot like the guys do in Uncharted, where they move a little bit slow, strategically slow. But yeah, you can headshot everybody.
Oh, that's my favorite. There's nothing better than a headshot stealth bow and arrow kill. It's just awesome.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. And they like turning to the side. Like I think the animators purposely did that. So when you shoot them in the head, they turn to the side so you can see the arrow all the way through their head.
I know, it's great.
I'm like, I'll take that.
I ran into an issue over the weekend. Did you guys have any issues with you'd get to an area and it wouldn't go to the cutscene or whatever?
I had a slight delay. And that was it. It was like a half second, sometimes a second pause, and nothing would happen, and then it would go to the cutscene.
I didn't get that.
I had, I think, at least two situations where I got somewhere, and then I just kind of stood there, and nothing happened. Like nothing opened up, and nothing happened. And then it would just I would just have to die to go back to the checkpoint, and then go back and do it again.
Oh, no. You're playing on Xbox, aren't you?
Yeah, it's different version. So
there you go. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know if they messed up something with the scripting on a few of the parts, but there was one part in particular that was hilarious because it was after one of the chase sequences. You know how they do a bunch of those chase sequences in the game?
Where you're running towards the camera?
Yeah, you're either running towards the camera or you're going down these crazy paths or whatever. Yeah, these slides.
Everything's exploding around you.
Exactly. And one of those ended, and I just was standing there, and it was supposed to go to a cutscene. You could tell that it was supposed to go to a cutscene.
Oh, that'd be awesome. It's like, so.
The character even said it. She's like, I think I'm supposed to be in a cutscene now.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, but no.
That's great.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes in serious games like that, especially back in the day, I used to always like to let my character stand there because the developers will always put in some weird animation that they would do if you left them standing for a long time. And I haven't done that recently, so please, since you guys are playing that game, please try that for
I'll have
me
to
and
do
see
that.
if it does anything.
But other than that, yeah, we rented Wreck-It Ralph over the weekend, and
how was it?
Is good.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
That's on our list
so
too.
Bad.
Well,
Okay.
I think John Lasseter, is the executive producer, maybe. That's
awesome.
That's the Pixar guy. So I was like, oh, well, go figure. I mean, the story, the characters, everything about the movie is really good. So
that's what I've heard.
If you're remotely, even if you're remotely into games, it's a really good movie.
And if not,
what's that?
And if not, I've had a bunch of guys on the bus that have kids that are like, dude, you would love it way more than I liked it. I liked it, and I don't know anything about video games.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is a kid's appeal to it. The first half hour, man, is like a who's who. Like they're bringing out all the characters, and it's just awesome.
That's cool.
Like there's a bunch of familiar faces in it, and then the actual story. Like I remember I'd heard about the movie, and people were like, "Oh, well, when it gets into the story, it's a little less. It's more about the video game characters that they created for the movie,
Right?
And it's still extremely enjoyable, though. Like I just really recommend it if you're interested in games. If you're not interested in games, you're probably not listening to this podcast. So I'm pretty much talking to everybody.
Right, so we can say whatever we want then.
Unless you just like sexy voices.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sexy. What's his name? John C. Reilly.
That's right.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. I'm glad you saw that.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
So, Gabe, I think you finished Tomb Raider before both of us, man. You must have had some time on the bus or something.
Man, what happened was we, I forget what was going on because I assist Toby on the road as well as the stage thing. And, I know what happened. His family was flying to Portland, right? And they got stuck in Denver really early in the morning. So he had to get up really early in the morning and like deal with this whole thing with his kids and his wife and try to help them get the rest of the way because they're actually going to Redmond, Bend, Oregon. And so his wife is blowing him up. So what happened was he was up for a bunch in the morning and he went back to bed and stayed in bed till like 2 in the afternoon.
Awesome.
And I was like, Toby's sleeping. I'm about to get my game on.
Yeah, buddy.
So I'd gotten up a little earlier that day, and so I just sat in the back and worked it on out, man.
That's
Tomb Raider.
awesome.
It was great.
Oh, that's really cool. So you guys did some West Coast dates?
No. They're just going there for vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just going to get some snowboarding.
Dude, one more week, right?
Yeah, we're coming up. We leave tonight for the last 3 shows, and then I'm off for a month, and I cannot
That is a
wait.
long freaking tour, man.
I know.
Holy
it has been
cow.
long. It seems like we haven't stopped since October.
Yeah, what the heck? It's winter jam, and it's like going on April here.
Yeah.
I know. That's what people say, but it's awesome. It's been great.
That's really cool. And then we get Mr. Gabe in town for, holy cow, an entire month.
An entire month. So I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm making all
and then
kind
you're
of
going to have to
plans.
wait for the kids and wives to go to bed to play video games.
Yeah. Yeah, no more bus for you, brother. You're done.
I'm not going to be able to play anything.
You're stuck with like the rest of us now.
You know what's you know what I'm going to do this morning, actually? I was supposed to have a writing session this morning, and it canceled. And so Jenny made plans with a friend of hers to go do like a play date with Amara and another little girl. So they're like leaving here at 9:30, and I'm like, I think I'm going to start
get your game on.
Exactly. I think I'm going to start Battlefield 3 up on my surround sound.
Oh,
I haven't played on surround
Dude,
sound
you're
in
gonna
forever.
get called from the cops. Man. Like, there's a war going on in the Patillo's house.
Exactly.
Like
Right.
domestic
That's
disturbance.
my goal. If the police don't show up, then you're not having a good enough party.
That's right.
Well, that's going to be funny because Jenny's going to come home and you're going to be like, "Oh, babe, I think I'm heading off to bed."
Dude, you better get at least one thing done on your honey-do list. That way you can be like, well, babe, I got that taken care of, so we're good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Trust
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I have
You
to
are-
clean the bonus room anyway, so
Yep.
that's where I'm going. So
There you go.
I'll just move something to a different wall.
make it really obvious too. Have like a dust rag or something out on the coffee table or something, just to be
Yeah.
like vacuum cleaners out.
So
Just do like 2 lines like you do in a football field. Do 2 lines on the carpet and then just put it there and keep going.
I won't even plug it in. I'll just put the lines in there from the wheels.
I hope somebody's writing this down. This is free tips, people, for all you married folk out there. Free tips right here.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's been my week. We did some shows, beat Tomb Raider, and I'm
So
happy.
what are you going to
about
play
it.
next then?
Man, I don't know. I'm
You
thinking
said Battlefield.
Well, that's just today because I think it'll be fun to play it on surround sound. But I'm really wanting to try that Far Cry 3.
Oh, you haven't played that yet?
I
haven't played that.
I did not.
Oh, man.
I had told you, Gabe, that somebody else was looking to borrow it, but they're not doing it now. So if you want it, come on by, man. I've got it.
Dude, I
You
think
will
I
love
want
it.
to. I think I want to try that out.
You will love it.
Yeah, it's really good, man.
Is that what I should do next?
Yeah.
Yes, I say do that. I think you will enjoy it.
That was one of
Okay.
those games that I couldn't hang into until the end, so I'm interested to hear what you think about it, Gabe.
Oh,
Yeah,
you didn't
man.
you didn't finish it?
Nope.
No. You got to power through it, man.
Dude, no, I just got completely bored with the gameplay, I guess, towards the end, so.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
The story will be good at the start, and then it kind of just expect it to
Gabe,
kind
the
of go a
story
little
will
bit
never
weird.
be good. I'm telling
right,
you, man,
never
the
mind.
characters, you'll be like, this is stupid.
You don't think it started off? I thought it started pretty good.
I thought
was
it started good, I will say that.
So Hall, why are you saying to play it if it's whack?
because
No,
the gameplay is fun.
Because it is fun. The gameplay is fun. So for me, it was like the first 20, maybe 20 hours, and then after that, it wasn't. It was too repetitive for me after that. So, that first 20 hours is great. So.
You'll love it. It's fun.
20 hours.
Do it definitely.
Okay.
No, you'll probably finish it. I mean, I'm one of those guys that if I'm not interested in the story and the gameplay has gotten old, then I can't continue.
Yeah.
So because there's too much other stuff to play.
Right.
So
I got you.
You know, this whole time we haven't talked at all about Bioshock Infinite, and everybody is talking about it right now. What's up with that? Have you guys played the other ones before? Like, are we just not excited about it?
I mean, I played a little bit of the first one, and I rebought it on Xbox because I need to play through it. So need to actually play it from start to finish.
That's kind of my thing too. I bought it 1 and 2. It's sitting downstairs.
Awesome.
I threw it in, started playing it, and I don't know what it is, but something about it just didn't grab me. And so I actually talked to somebody this last weekend that loves Bioshock, and I was like, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I wasn't feeling it. He was like, man, just give it one more shot. And I was like,
yeah,
all right. It's just all a little too like, I don't know, carnival, crazy people.
Yeah, it's like that weird
darkish
art.
for me. Like it just didn't grab me.
Like
well,
an avant-garde game.
It's supposed to be based on like an Ayn Randian type story.
I don't even know what that is.
Then there you go.
Did you just speak another language? What happened there?
You just switched to Vulcan.
I can't
all of a
believe
sudden?
I am the only guy on the show that knows about Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugged and all that stuff. So.
I'm pretty sure I can bet that you would be the only one. Because I don't know. Okay. Please enlighten us, please.
Yes, please.
Well, anyway, it's basically a story about, I think, objectivism. So it's about like man getting away from government and doing his own thing.
Right.
Okay.
I think the idea that because I think they kind of just took the idea from the book, essentially where a guy goes and sets up his own civilization because he's sick of the way that the government does things.
So it's not like an anarchist perspective, but it's just no government, but self-government kind of a thing.
Kind of, and I don't exactly know, because I know that they drew influence from it, but they didn't exactly just rewrite the book. So I think what happened essentially was, this guy did that, and then they're just trying to say, oh, well, that'll never work because here's Bioshock, or something like that. I'm not really... Somebody's probably going to write in and say, no, you're all wrong, you're stupid, this is exactly what happened. But that's kind of what I gathered from being on the outside.
Yeah.
And knowing about that story. So
I downloaded 2 because that was free on the PSN.
Yeah, and I've heard 2 is not developed by the same people, so it's even though it's kind of a numbered sequel, it's not necessarily a sequel, yeah, like a story sequel.
So I don't know, because I was listening on another podcast and somebody had a question: if you haven't played Bioshock before, would you be okay playing Infinite, or should you go back and do Bioshock 2? And one of the guys said, play Bioshock 2 first, just so that you'll kind of get it's a good kind of feel into it. But I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like I'm missing out. I might have to check it out.
I know. I'm feeling like that too. We'll trade. I'll bring Bioshock over, and you can let me borrow Far Cry.
That works.
And
yeah, I bought. I love when the services do this, like sales on their downloadable games, because I think I bought Bioshock as a downloadable game on Xbox for $5.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sweet.
So I was like, that's my buy price. So
when did the first Bioshock come out?
Oh,
years ago.
Dude, it came out like, what, 2006,
That was a
2007?
long time ago. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
It was a really long time ago.
But I see it online, and everybody's just jonesing about this game. So even some of our beloved followers were like, "Dude, why haven't you guys talked about Bioshock?" We're like, "I don't know. We just haven't. We haven't talked about it. But maybe we're snoozing on this one. I don't know. We'll see."
I tell you what, the marketing is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got started on Bioshock, and I kind of had the same problem that Gabe did with the first one. But I think now I can play it just because of, like, I've read more about the story, so I'm more interested in playing it now.
Right. It's not easy either, boy.
Yeah, no.
I think it's hard.
And I'm trying to think. Oh, that was back when you could only use either the plasmid or the gun, so you had to constantly switch between the two.
Yeah.
I think they changed that in Bioshock 2, so you can actually have both of them at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I remember that being a problem. I was like, gosh.
I can imagine that Infinite is probably a more fun game, like a more polished game, like because games at the beginning of the generation are almost unplayable at this point for me. Like some of them,
we're
just
spoiled.
because they've made so many improvements.
Controls. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, interesting. Well, I say that because for our new releases this week, Bioshock came out, as well as two others I've mentioned: Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel, for PS3 and Xbox 360.
I can't believe they're still making those games. For some reason, the first one I didn't really like. I
didn't really like the first one.
And then for all you golfers out there, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 14.
Tiger Woo!
That's right, Tiger Woo! so I'm pretty sure Bioshock's gonna own this week. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
That was interesting. And then for our top selling games, week ending last week, March 16th, God of War came out on top.
Sweet.
With 418,000 units. I'm sure 400.
Wait, was that God of War or Gears of War?
God of War.
Wow.
Keep in mind that Gears of War will come up next week because these charts are a week behind. So for the week ending March 16th, God of War was the big one that came out that week. So God of War did 418,000 units. I'm sure 417,000 of those were all wanting the Last of Us demo.
No, man, that's a big game. That's a big game.
No, it is a big game.
Those are good games.
And then for the PC gamer, StarCraft 2, number 2, did 330,000 units for a PC game. That's pretty stinking spectacular. So well done on them.
And I don't even think that includes downloadable, does it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think
it does.
I will check the game chart site where I get it. I want to make sure it's accurate and see if we can get downloadables too, but it may not count. But Tomb Raider held in at 3 and 4. So
sweet.
They're doing great. And let's see, MLB 13 The Show rounds out the top 5.
Yes, it does.
And interesting, we had talked about the woes of SimCity. So SimCity held in at number 6. It went from 221,000 units sold to 43,000 units sold. So I'm sure that's due to all their server problems. But you know what? It's still there. It's still viable. So good on you, SimCity. And I hope those techs are finally getting some sleep.
Seriously.
Those poor guys, I swear.
So on next week's stats, we're probably going to see
we'll see Gears.
Well, the new Army of Two game. So I guess this will be 2 weeks from now. I bet you the new Army of Two game sells almost nothing because it's coming out the same week as Bioshock Infinite.
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's rough.
I think it's probably one of those they threw it up against the wall and be like, "Yep, that's a good date. Let's go with that."
Probably.
Timothy Hall.
Yes, sir.
Give us something.
Man, the DuckTales.
Woo!
Woo! Yep, they're bringing that old NES game back with a remaster.
I played the crap out of that game.
Yes, I did too when I was a kid. I think, what's funny is like when I heard that this was announced, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me."
Yeah, I thought I was reading it wrong, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, this has to be coming out because every gaming podcast has guys that talk about this game. So they're like, all right, enough kids already know about this game. Let's just re-release it.
How old is it?
Old.
Was it 91?
Oh, wow. And it's not a reboot. It's a revamp. Is that what it is?
It's a remaster.
Remaster.
Gotcha.
Now, I've heard that they're going to ask $15 for it, and that is a bit exorbitant because the game's like an hour long. So,
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
$15 is really
$15 an hour. That's good pay right there.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, so that's really well, I mean, you can play the game over and over again. It's pretty fun. But yeah, $15, you know how we kind of talked about that arrogant pricing thing with the iPad mini?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's arrogant pricing right there.
I agree.
think that they're going to see a lot of people not buy it because it's $15.
I mean, $5 seems about right.
Well,
10?
if they asked 10, they would get it. But 15 is a bit too much to ask for. Like it's a really good game, but the only reason they're asking 15 is because basically everybody and their mom talks about this game, literally. So
that is so crazy. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I remember liking the game a lot. I mean, it's made by Capcom, and that was like their heyday at that time. They were making all the Disney games, and they were all good games.
Yeah,
So,
Street Fighter and was ruling
yeah,
it.
Street Fighter, my favorite Disney franchise.
I'm just saying Capcom.
Hey, actually, you know what? Street Fighter is in, like, a couple characters from Street Fighter are in Wreck-It Ralph, so.
I know Zangief is in there for sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, so good.
That's so cool.
And I have to get on my little soapbox because every time a game gets remastered, I always ask this question: why not Final Fantasy VII? Of course,
you and the Final Fantasy.
I only bring it up because they announced that Final Fantasy X and X-2 are getting HD remastered re-releases.
Well, that's because
on the
that's going to be
PS3
easy to
and Vita.
remaster.
I know, but I'm just saying. Come on, put some work in. I need my Final Fantasy VII.
And
Well,
isn't 7 like the best one anyway?
To me,
it's considered one of the best, and if they were to remaster any of them, 7 would sell the best. So.
and it was like it went bonkers when it first came out.
Huh.
Like it broke all kind of records for video games, and it kind of gave I don't know, just kind of
JRPGs on the map. That's
put JRPGs back on the map in pop culture.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Well, I was going to say, Tim, when it came out, they had like a trailer that was very cinematic looking, so it had all CG. It wasn't really any gameplay or anything.
Right.
So all these people that were watching the ads, and they were like running them on like MTV.
Yeah,
and,
I think I remember those.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were running them on all of the major stations that play to like the younger demographic.
Sure.
And so all these kids were like, man, that game looks amazing. They didn't know it was an RPG going into it.
Right.
But a lot of people bought into it and enjoyed the gameplay, even though they'd never played an RPG before.
Right. And it does start off it starts off right into the action, so you're not disappointed when you start.
Like right at the start?
It's not disappointing when you start it out.
Yeah, exactly. The beginning is great, and the story, like, it's not the greatest story, but it hooks you in immediately.
Yeah.
So.
And it semi makes sense, which is awesome for a JRPG.
Yeah, semi.
That
always helps. That second disc, it starts to get a little crazy, but
Underline semi like twice.
That's awesome.
But the screenshots for Final Fantasy X look awesome, and I'll probably pick that up. I don't care so much about 10-2, but 10 was a good Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I mean, with those PS2 games, as far as I can tell, I mean, they said it's really easy to remaster them because really the main thing you're doing is changing the resolution. A PS2 game is an SD, kind of almost like an SD version of a PS3 game. All the assets can up-res and everything can look better. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's not really as hard for them to do an HD remake of a PS2 game, whereas with a PS1 game, they'd pretty much have to redraw and re-asset everything to make it look good.
Well, they should get at it.
Hey, I'll say, man, I played Final Fantasy VII on my HD TV through my PS3, and it looks pretty good, but it's not like, it's not an HD re-release. It's not, up-resed and new assets and all that stuff. So,
well, I know I'm a fanboy, so if they redid it, I would pay $40 for that game.
It would cost enough money for them to redo that game that they would have to charge between 40 and 60, and I would gladly pay it. So, just saying.
See? Me too. Just saying. Router.
Sir.
You got something else?
We will post two upcoming videos. Watch Dogs just came out with a new trailer.
Yes, Lord.
And that looks, I think that's going to be my next game of choice after The Last of Us. It looks really cool. The hacking potential looks so awesome. I love that.
It really does.
And that's confirmed to be a next-gen game as well?
I think so,
it's going to be both PS3 and PS4.
Yep. And then, I know, Gabe, you talked about this earlier because you're going to play Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4 apparently was leaked out, and they now said, screw it, and they put out a 17-minute gameplay trailer.
Right.
So we'll post that up on the site as well.
It looks crazy.
Looks amazing.
Somebody had posted a picture of that on my Google Plus feed, and I looked at it, and I was like, is that Joey from Friends? One of the guys looked like that.
Joey from Friends would only be so lucky.
Yeah, right.
That was him.
I need to find that picture and post it on our Twitter or our Facebook or something.
Joey.
Please do a side by side with Joey from Friends, please.
Is that Joey from Friends? Yeah, it is.
Yes. Yeah, man. Even when I saw Battlefield 3 gameplay, I was like, wow, this looks incredible. I mean, it's just crisp, and it's just like, I think they may have something here. They might give Call of Duty a run for their money at some point.
Yeah.
But so that those two videos will be up. We'll post those up probably tomorrow or so.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I found the picture. I am so posting this.
Oh, good. Please do.
That is hilarious.
Hey, did you guys hear Nolan Bushnell, or Bushnell, however you like to say it? He's the founder of Atari. He said that the days of mobile gaming are over. And I thought that was a really interesting comment to make when it seems like it's at its heyday right now.
Okay.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
I don't think I can agree with it either, but I think what he was saying is there's so many games, it's hard for innovation to take place because
that makes sense.
It's hard to stick out.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I disagree on that too. I think because there's so many games, you're always going to have people that come out in the fold. Look at Angry Birds. Look at Plants vs. Zombies. I mean, they came up with something different. Everybody starts copying them.
Mm-hmm. But those are old games if you think of it, though.
Well, that's true. They're a couple of years old. I get that.
Like, how hard would it be for somebody now to come out with something and you even find it?
Yeah. I'll say, I think what would be appropriate to say is the market is completely oversaturated. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's definitely appropriate.
To say mobile gaming is dying, coming from a person whose franchise is dead, doesn't.
Well, no,
really...
he sold a long time ago.
Yeah, he did. And now,
I mean, basically, if you want to slam against him, we have to talk about Chuck E. Cheese at this point. So.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he still owns.
But I think
I'm not slamming him. I'm just saying,
no,
it's just one of those things. Like, I don't agree.
I think that he's saying that it's probably seen its peak, which I can understand because his next thing that he said was, I think the next big thing for gaming is going to come in the form of Oculus Rift and Google Glass. Yeah. And so
I also disagree with that.
I disagree with that too, but it made more sense of what he was saying. He was like, oh, he's talking about the next thing. Like, he's like, hey, the mobile boom is probably coming to a close. The next thing is probably going to have to be something peripheralized like Oculus Rift or Google Glass.
Yeah, we're a couple years from that though still.
Think so?
I think we're quite a ways still from that being able to be kind of the norm. But I think he's right in one sense that, there's just a lot with mobile gaming. I don't think it's declining because people still have a need for it. They still want it, and almost everybody has a smartphone now. So I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I took at it just considering the source because we just had an entire episode where we talked about the poor death of Atari anyway and how they had to sell everything off. So I think it's funny that it's coming from him. But back in the heyday, he was the man, and I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's still the man. But do you guys think, it made me think, I was like, I don't know that, I think we're still so far from VR taking off, virtual reality taking off. in the form of Oculus Rift, obviously being the VR headset. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's pretty crazy looking. And they got a bunch of crazy claims, but it's hard to prove it without wearing it. And then Google Glass doesn't seem like it's going to be a huge gaming platform. But I think he's just saying that, those kind of over-the-eye, peripheralized things are probably what's going to be next. Do you see him taking off anytime soon?
Like I said, I still think it's going to be, I think, at least 5 years until it becomes the norm.
That's the thing. I don't know if it'll ever become a norm even, because once you introduce an optional peripheral, like for instance, that would be like saying every game is a Move game now. Because they released the Move and it's a peripheral and it's cool and whatnot. So I don't think, unless they start bundling like video cards with Oculus Rift, I don't think it's going to become any kind of norm. And even then, like, I could see so many people like getting Oculus Rift with their video card, using it once and then never using it again.
Yeah, it'd have to really blow people's minds.
Yeah, it'd have to be incredible.
It could
not just look around.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it could be something like, you're right. It's not going to be the norm, but it's going to be an add-on, kind of like how when the Wii started with the motion controller and all that stuff. It's going to be another one of those kind of added type of hardware pieces that you can or cannot choose, because you're not going to play like AAA games with an Oculus Rift right away anyway. It's going to be it's going to be their programs. You're going to have set up your own Mii. That kind of stuff. It's going to have like its own software, its own kind of path to go on, and then maybe down the road it'll hopefully have support. AAA games will have support for it.
The thing I could see happening with Oculus Rift is, in the beginning, some games support it, and then over time they look at the numbers and they say, "Wow, not enough people are actually using these things," and then games will start to pull out, just exactly like they did with the Move and the Kinect.
Yeah.
So. Because, I mean, even though there's a bunch of them out there in the wild, like, at some point the developer says, well, is it worth it for us to implement Move support? I think the companies that have are mostly paid to do it, to make it a viable platform. So.
And I would assume that the development and the coding is frightfully time-consuming and frightfully expensive.
Possibly. I'm not sure if it is or not. All I can say is that look at PC gaming and look at console gaming. It has been you sitting in front of a screen for over 20 years now. And, it's like the formula still works. So introducing something else into that mix, there's been so many peripherals over the years that have been released, like especially for the NES. The NES had a crazy amount of optional peripherals. There's a video on it that I'll have to post sometime on our Twitter, but like there was so many stuff that was released and never caught on. Like the Power Glove. Remember the Power Glove?
I had it.
Yeah, that absolutely never caught on.
It was awful.
Stuff like that, like
Gabe wears that on stage now.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Gabe, will you do that?
I will.
Dude, last tour date of Winter Jam, please.
I wish if I could find one that quickly, I would definitely do it.
Gabe, you should try to find two. So you should like wear one on each hand.
That's awesome.
I don't even think they made them for left-handed people, but you know what? Just look.
Nice.
That's
or wait,
awesome.
were they on your left hand? I can't remember.
I think they were on your left hand, if I remember right.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because you touch the buttons with the right hand.
Hall, you got something else?
Nope. Listener questions, probably.
Let me say this one thing that I thought was really interesting. Plants vs. Zombies in China has accredited how well they've done to piracy, which I thought was really interesting. James Gwertzman, I think his name was, developer of Plants vs. Zombies. He said when Plants vs. Zombies came out in China, it was one of the top pirated games when it launched there.
Huh.
Which in turn had people in China making knockoff merchandise for the game and then selling it. And then the knockoff merchandise did great, so it told PopCap, hey, we should make merch for Plants vs. Zombies. And now Plants vs. Zombies, 30% of the money they get from China comes from merchandising. And it all started with people faking it as PVZ. I thought that was incredible.
Wow.
I was like, piracy working for the developers. That's never happened.
That's everybody take note of that. That could be something where they're kind of embracing it in a weird sort of way.
I thought that was a crazy little story.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, they were like, hey, they're making these fake toys and selling them like banshees, so maybe we should make some actual toys.
Yeah, let's get on that. That's
Isn't
awesome.
that when Apple went in and said, hey, they're making a lot of fake iPhones, so maybe we should give them real iPhones?
Yeah, right. Never happened.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Router, I think both you guys have one. We'll go back and forth.
Yeah, Hall, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions from Facebook last week. Oh, crap. Now I lost them. Hang on a second.
Router, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So we got a Twitter question, O'Neill5299. That's our boy Casey.
Ooh.
I think we mentioned it a little bit, but he raised a good point. He said, consider buying a Vita today. What would it take for you guys to purchase one? And I don't think we will see a price drop soon. Thoughts? For me, what it would take, you know what? I think I'm going to wait until the PS4 comes out because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more synergy between Vita and PS4 then. And I'm sure by then, maybe the price will come down a little bit. But I saw it, I was looking at it the other day in Target. It is a cool little machine, but it's just not something I need right now.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's what I think. Tough one.
That's what I think when I look at it. Like, full remote play compatibility, great.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to take the PS4 or a drastic. I don't know. How much is it right now? $250 or $200?
Good question.
I think it's
I don't even know.
$250, and if they made it $150, they'd probably sell a ton more.
I would probably buy one for $150 then.
Yeah, $150 is a little more disposable than $250, I think.
Yeah.
But if there's going to be a lot more compatibility with the PS4 with this, then I'm definitely in. I mean, I love the idea of just going downstairs, not having to sit in front of a TV, but just being able to go anywhere within my house.
Yeah.
And be able to play something. I think that would be awesome. So it would take, for me, it's probably going to take our next gen console, a PS4, and a price drop for me to buy one.
That's what I would think. Around $200, and it'd be dope with the PS4. Because I could definitely see myself playing Final Fantasy X in my bunk. You know what I'm saying? That would be great since it's going to be released for the Vita. But I had the PSP. I got it as a gift. And I mean, it was just okay at times for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was.
Yeah, I never really was on board with the PSP. So.
Well, I think also it doesn't help that not all the games. Like, I think the games are what kind of do it for me. Like, there's not a ton of games out that I would probably want to play right now.
Yeah.
Now it's getting better. There's a lot of developers now that are working on some better games, and they're porting for the Vita now, which would be cool. But it's just there's nothing better than playing a AAA game on your console, and you kind of have a dumbed down version of it
on your handheld,
on the Vita, and it's not as exciting to me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe developers are looking at the plight of mobile games and saying, man, is it really worth it for us to spend so much money on development for a game that not a lot of people may buy, just because people are getting used to $1, like paying $1 for a game, I think.
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
So
very true.
All right, Hall, you got one ready?
Yeah, I got the couple of Facebook questions that we had from last week. What are the games that you keep coming back to? I've replayed and beaten all of the Sly Coopers and Jack and Daxters. I guess they're my comfort games. How about you guys? And that comes in from Garrett, our friend on Facebook.
Oh, nice, Garrett. Awesome.
I love that question, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good question.
All right, Hall, hit it.
Man, I love replaying some of the old RPGs, like the PS1 games. Going back to like the old Twisted Metals is always really fun. It kind of takes me back. And then Nintendo 64 games, love them. So
yeah, I was a big one of the NES games that I can always play is probably Punch Out.
Oh yeah, I can always
loved
go back to that.
Punch Out. Like if it's around or if somebody's got an NES or an emulator going on, I can play Punch Out for all day. And actually Super Punch Out on the SNES I really enjoyed too.
That one I never played.
It was good.
So.
It was a lot more cartoony, obviously. The characters are like way crazier, but I thought it was a really fun sequel, I guess, if you want to call it that. But
was that the one with Pizza Pasta? The guy named Pizza Pasta or whatever?
I don't remember.
That might have been Super Punch Out, wasn't it?
I think it was I think it was Super Punch Out, but it may have been the arcade version. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that guy, but
I just remember hearing about it, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, those games I could always go back to. That one especially, Punch Out. I think it's always fun and still challenging. It can still be challenging because I don't always remember.
It's still extremely challenging.
Yeah, I don't remember. Sometimes you just when you're playing it a bunch, you just get down the pattern of what they're gonna do, but. Picking it up after years.
You guys are going old school and everything.
Oh, yeah, dude. Turtles, the arcade game for NES, man.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
So good.
Oh, I bought that at a flea market recently. I just couldn't take it anymore.
That's
I have
awesome.
to have it.
I had to have that game.
And I could play a bunch of Dreamcast games, too, probably still.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Dreamcast was the best.
Power Stone, man.
Power Stone and Power Stone 2 were incredible.
Yeah, Power Stone. Oh, I forgot about Power Stone 2. Stone 2 was
good Lord, you guys are geeking out. Geeking out.
Oh, and that Parcheesi's fantastic, too. Oh, I love it. This is great.
Also, Knights of the Dreams.
Okay, so we know what Tim's answer is.
Tim,
did you get the re-release of that?
No, I didn't want to ruin it for myself.
Yeah, I haven't either.
No, heck no. Original Knights into Dreams, baby. Router, what do you say? Something on PS3?
I'm stuck on PS3 right now because that's all I got. Honestly, the game I went back to was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
That's a good game.
But now, like the whole Assassin's Creed franchise has kind of just left a bitter taste in my mouth. So I'm gonna hold back a little bit. But dude, I would totally do Borderlands too again.
The first one?
Well, not the first one. Yeah, I would play that one again. That was fun. And then
after you play 2, you won't say that again.
Okay. But yeah, because I haven't played 2 yet. But I really love that game. That was fun. And I always love the Uncharted games too. If you want just like a good action adventure, go back to those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as we're speaking about that, even though they're still insanely expensive, the prices for Final Fantasy 3 for iPad and Final Fantasy 4 just dropped on iOS. Are any of those worth getting? 3 or 2 or
how much is 4?
$11.
Oof.
Man.
Dropped from $16.
I mean, 4 is a good game. So
is it $11 good?
Well, because I think it would be because it's the remake.
Yeah,
it would definitely look good.
Fix some stuff. So
yeah, it would definitely look good.
All right. Anyway, so if you're listening to this in the next day, Final Fantasy.
Just wait for 7. They're
not doing it.
Oh God. Okay.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Don't say anything like that.
They're going to do 7.
If they do 7, I'll buy it. Okay.
They'll do it, and it'll be $20.
Tell you what, Gabe, if they do 7, I'll buy it too.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
You better.
I'll support a brother.
Hall, do you have another one?
Yeah, we had a question from John Fuller last week as well on Facebook. He said, I recently played Tomb Raider. I love the game so much. I played it on hard and 100% into every challenge and collectible.
Wow.
Which I would normally play on casual or normal and not be concerned about collecting stuff. Is there any game that you liked so much that you went out of your way to do stuff you normally wouldn't? And he said he loves the show. Thanks for giving us a new show every week, and I'll keep listening as long as you keep recording. As a side to that, we have recorded a show every single week since we've been around.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we have.
We have not slipped.
I'm glad somebody noticed.
Thank you, John. That's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate that. Go ahead, Router.
I have no idea. I haven't.
You're pretty much a collect all of it anyway during games.
Yeah, I do. But you know what? But I don't. I always keep it on. My difficulty level is always normal. Like I may, as frustrating as it was, I may go back and do Dead Space on hard because I hear it's ridiculous. But
wow.
I may actually throw my TV out the window if that happens because just normal was frustrating and I can't imagine how hard would be. But yeah, I mean, I'm a completionist anyway, so I love going and trying getting everything. But man, if he's platinuming Tomb Raider on hard and getting everything, that's big ups to him. That's huge.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I can see this game. I can see that with this game doing that and going back to it because it's a great game. So.
Yeah, I was going to say Tomb Raider is like the first game that I would want to actually complete 100%.
I'm not that guy. I wish I was. Part of me wants to be that guy, but then the other part of me is like, wait, I'm doing this for fun, not so I can be frustrated.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm never that guy either, but I just find Tomb Raider so much fun that it's like, why not?
Would you play it on hard?
No, I wouldn't play it on hard. No, I don't care about that. Like, I played one game on hard that was Call of Duty World at War, and I severely regretted it. So I'll never do that again.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, if I were to play something on hard, I would probably, like, after the first 5 minutes, be like, screw this game, I'm out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially with that, man, that game, like, World at War, like, if you played it on hard, like, everywhere you walked, there was a grenade. Even if there was no guys around, there was a grenade.
You take a step and you're dead. You're like, oh, well, that's it for me. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, screw this, man. I finished it, but it sucked.
And I know we've talked about it a lot. I brought it up like 5 times this episode, but Final Fantasy VII was the only game that I went back and when I replayed it, I was like, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to beat Ruby. I'm going to beat Emerald. I'm going to do all these side things that you don't have to do to beat the game and then complete the game. So that was the only one I remember going back and really doing that with. Other than that, I don't know if I have time to go back and do
that's
some
the
of
other
these
issue
newer
is
games
time.
like long.
I mean, what's good is that you're familiar with it, but at the same time, man, it takes a while to get all that stuff put together.
Hey, you better 100% all your games before you get married, because after that, you'll never 100% anything.
There it is, folks. There's the tip of the day.
If you get married and you 100% video games, you're not 100%ing your marriage.
Hey, there you go.
That is true.
That's our next T-shirt.
That's why it takes Router and I like months to play games.
Exactly. Yeah, at least Gabe, you've got the busted to fall back on. Well, you won't in April, but
I was
in April
Gabe
you'll
will
get
finish no games.
Yeah, yeah. I predict that Gabe will not finish any game in April because he's back to what Hall and I do all the time. It's just trying to figure out slots and time in.
Exactly. That's for sure.
It'd be awesome.
You guys ready to get up out of here?
Yeah, that's it for questions from last week. So
thanks everybody for all your questions and keep tweeting and Facebooking us, and it's just awesome. And happy Easter to everybody too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Even if you don't celebrate Easter, happy Easter.
Easter, Passover.
Is this Sunday?
Yep,
it's Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, cool.
Yep. Well, y'all know where we're at because we're at the same place every day. We're on Twitter, MTTGcast. We're on Facebook, Facebook.com/Married to the Games. We have our own website, which used to be a huge deal in the early 90s, which is marriedtothegames.com.
Before it all went bust.
Exactly. Rate us on iTunes, man, if you can. We would really appreciate that. Let us know what you guys think about the show. We love the feedback. We just want to get better for y'all. We want y'all to have a better show, and we would love to provide that for you guys. We love talking about this stuff. We love being here. We enjoy the fact that we've been able to talk back and forth with so many of you. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. So we gonna keep doing what we do, baby. It's talking about video games, kids and wives, and 9 to 5s. Gabe Patillo, Timothy Hall, Tim Router. We up out this thing. Peace.